All right, Eric, a big win over the Toronto Marlies today. Just take me through how you saw things play out behind the bench.
Well, I don't know if it was the afternoon game, but I felt like we were a little bit slow today. The execution was not quite there also, but let's be satisfied with that 2 points. Sometimes they say you got to find a way to get those wins. They don't have to be always pretty, and I think that's one of those games today.
Mikhail Burton takes the crease too after a little bit of a time off due to an injury. What did you think of his performance in his first game in quite some time?
Well, he was very excited. He was excited all week long. He had good practice this week, and we knew he came in with a lot of energy. Wanted to kind of redeem himself. For being injured, not playing as well as he'd like to for a period of time after Christmas, and he's looking forward with playoff being on the line for us, and so we knew he came in and with a lot of energy, and play as well as he could be, and that's what he did. Especially in the third period, I felt like we gave up some good scoring chance, and he closed the door.
What can you say about the development of Jonathan Kovacevic this year? He's got goals in back-to-back games now, and he just seems to be improving as the year goes on.
He's a sniper now. But like I mentioned to Daniel this morning, when he came over, from college with us 3-4 years ago already, times fly by so quick. But that's one thing. He came with an identity that he was a shutdown defenseman. He was a defensive defenseman with not much skill. And after our exit meeting, he said, "I don't want to be recognized as just one-dimensional. I'd like to be, as good as I could be on both sides of the ice, offensively and defensively." And I said, "Fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Having to set some goals and becoming a better defenseman." So from day one, that's what we did with him. What can we improve? How can we improve? Offense comes from different ways for different player. Offense from Chiz is not the same offense as Covey. And same thing with Leon and Vili. So we worked really hard on that, making good decision offensively to not put your team in trouble, but having a chance to contribute. So he got better. He's getting better every year in that department without compromising any defense. So that's good for him. And now he's got 11 goals now. What's the record for the Moose?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Let's not tell him. Let's keep it in.
And what can you also just say about the crowd tonight too? It must do a lot for the team to have that kind of support, and especially here at home, like where you guys have been playing really well as of late too.
Yeah, no, guys were excited about that game. Well, actually, I thought we had 4 good crowd this week. Guys were excited. It's nice to play. Obviously the Jets is the priority in Winnipeg, but to have the support that we had all week long, especially today, I think it was a sold out for us. So guys were excited. It gave us a lot of energy. When we got tired 4 games in 7 days during the week, usually you don't have as much energy. But the crowd's been really good for us. We've been playing really well in Winnipeg, so. It's that 2 point is big before we go on the road. We had 3 big games against Milwaukee and Chicago that are 2 of the hottest team in the league. So it's nice to see a good home crowd like we did today.
How do you think Burton managed his energy today?
It was good. Didn't get overly excited. When he's got too much energy, the mistakes are coming when he plays the puck. We didn't see that as much today. Couple lack of communication, but I didn't feel like it was because he had too much energy or not enough shots, where he wants to be involved in the game. I felt like he managed that part a lot better today. That's the first thing we mentioned this before the game, especially when we meet for our PK meeting. Let's trust everybody, work together, and don't try to do too much with the puck, and that's exactly what he did.
There was, Toronto start was really in his grill today, in front of the blue paint, and there was times where he was kind of giving it back to them and trying to push them out. Do you think that he's allocating his time and energy properly when he's doing that?
No, you're right. That's who he is. We don't want to take too much away from him. I always said, you got to be who you are. But you're right about that. When he does something like that, then you forget to focus on something else. You know, you're not as square, you're not as ready for next shots. So that's one element that he's going to have to keep improving. And it's not going to be the last team that's going to try to take him away from his focus. So, you know, he's got a couple more weeks before we get in the playoff. And it looks like we might play Milwaukee. And Milwaukee is another team that played that way. So he's got to have to expect that and stay as focused as he could be.
Last one for me. You mentioned there about how his energy and managing it pretty well, but there was some lack of communication with some. Was that with puck movement you meant? Like some of the decisions to move the puck, that there was some miscommunication?
Yeah. A lot of times it's come from my D. You know, they have to talk early. They have to be loud and clear. I felt like early on the puck was not moving quick enough, whether it was him or whether it was the defenseman not talking or giving him direction quick enough. But I felt like that part was getting better as the game was, you know. So. Yeah, it's still an element that we'll have to work on in the next few weeks, but I felt like it was getting better during the game.